Hi everybody, I'm Mike McCrory and this is Would You Make It? My shop is in a bit of disarray this week because of all these cutting boards and serving trays that I've been making. I don't normally do that, but friends of ours are having a little boutique get-together at their house in a month from now, and they've invited me to take part in that. So that's what I've been doing for the last little while. I've already made 3 videos on how to make cutting boards, different styles, and I thought this was also worth a video. I've got this cutting board that I've already made from alternating pieces of cherry and maple. And in this one, I'm going to do a little bit of inlay, or what looks like inlay. It's not really an inlay in the traditional sense, because I'm actually going to cut the wood, put another piece of wood, but instead of going parallel to all these other pieces, I'm going to go on a curve. So in order to do that, you can't just cut the wood, insert a piece in a curvy fashion, and glue it back together, because then these pieces of wood would not be in alignment anymore. So that takes a little bit more finesse. So let's get started. So I've already made the basic cutting board. You've seen enough of that already, so I don't need to video that. I've also cut some thin strips of wood, and I've measured them precisely because I'm going to use a plywood dado set that is 31/64 inches thick. So this material adds up to 31/64 of an inch. And then the other thing I've done is I've cut various curves into some MDF, and I'm going to lay these out and cut them and glue these in one at a time. So I'll do the first curve, glue the piece in, clamp it up overnight, and then I'll come back tomorrow and do another curve, cut it out, clamp in some more strips of wood, maybe a different material, clamp that in, and I'll do that 3 times. So this is like a 5 or 6 day project to get this all done. It's not a lot of work really, it's just a lot of time because of the gluing.
I draw a line with my pencil using the template, and then I back the template away 3 inches to allow for the base on my router. I'm using the plywood bit, and I'm going down deep enough to make sure there's enough room for the bearing on my flush trim bit when I come back after cutting this piece on the bandsaw. And now I cut down the middle with my bandsaw. I don't have to be too careful, I just want to make sure that I don't touch any of the edges with the bandsaw blade. And here I'm doing a bit of a climb cut because I don't want to have any tear out on the end when I come through. And then I go back and cut in the proper direction. And now it's ready for glue up, so I have the 3 thin pieces of wood, 2 pieces of walnut, and 1 piece of maple to go in the middle. And then I'll clamp it up and let it sit overnight. This is the next day now, and I'm using a router bit just to remove some of the excess strip of wood in the middle, and then I can finish it up with a sander. Now I'm getting ready to set the template up for the second cut, and in this case I'm using a 1/4 inch plywood bit, which is about 7/32 of an inch. And now I'm just repeating the whole process over again. Now I'm inserting a strip of paducah. That will give a nice contrasting color. Now it's the third day and I'm getting ready for the final strip of wood. This one is going to be walnut, just pure walnut. I'm just using a damp rag to clean up some of the excess glue. And then, now that I have an almost nearly finished product, I'm running it through the drum sander to clean it up. And then using a round over bit, a 1/4 inch round over bit, to round over all the edges of the cutting board. A little bit of hand sanding, and then I will finish it up with some cutting board oil, just some regular mineral oil. Here are some of the other cutting boards and serving trays that I made last week. Each one is a one of a kind. This serving tray is made from walnut and maple and joined with a box joint in the middle. It's inspired by the case of Loving v. Virginia, as well as the upcoming movie called Loving. Here's this week's cutting board with 3 different through inlays, one with maple and walnut, one with walnut, and the other with paducah. So I gotta ask, would you make it?